Welcome to Rocket Sales Weekends. Weekend with S. Don't worry, we won't be selling rockets to you. What is Rocket Sales Weekend? It's an event which happens on 2 consecutive weekends held exclusively for 2 communities. One for the entrepreneurs and other for the builders. The entrepreneur community comprises of self-entrepreneurs, startups operating from garages, social entrepreneurs who have sustainable business model, and all the SMEs looking out to launch their new product in the market. The builders are those people who are interested and willing to experience working for startup business. These could be management students, working professionals, developers, etc. Basically, anyone and everyone who would be interested. For simplicity, we will call this group as builders. The entrepreneur group would bring their product, be it a hardware, software or service. These could be online or offline. For simplicity, we will call these as products. Rocket Sales Weekend will be held both indoor as a classroom session and as an outdoor activity for street smart learning. There are eligibility criteria for both entrepreneurs as well as for builders. For entrepreneurs, these criteria are: should have a tangible, workable and viable product, should be in a position to demo product to the audience, should be in a position to sell the product, should be in a position to incorporate changes to the product, should be ready to try out change in the price, should have a setup for receiving payments such as cash on delivery or payment gateway. Now the winning criteria for builders are: builders as an aspiring entrepreneur with a business plan, builders as an aspiring entrepreneur with lightning pitch, builders as an aspiring entrepreneur with an idea, or it can be a working professional or even a management student. Admission to builders is based purely on merit in terms of their entrepreneurial acumen. The final right to the admission remains with the organizing body. In case if there is an increasing number of applicants, builders might have to go through telephonic interview or an online test. Now what happens at the event? Well, all the entrepreneurs would first give the demo. From the entire list, the best 6 would be chosen for the event. Those entrepreneurs whose product has not been selected and wish to opt out can do so freely, since there might be few entrepreneurs who would like to go back to the garage and work on their product instead. The seat vacated by these opt-out entrepreneurs would be then filled up by those who are on the waiting list bench. Ideally, for each product, there would be 3 entrepreneurs, 8 builders, thus making a strong team of 11. Let's take a quick look at what happens on these 4 days of the 2 weekends. The first day of the first weekend would be an in-house session where each team would start with the brainstorming, identifying customer and its demographic, and finally formulating the strategies. The second day of the first weekend would be on field session where each team would start with the brand establishing, setting out distribution channel, carrying out direct field sales activity on the foot. Now those businesses which work online, their team can work from home, cyber cafe or from entrepreneur's office if it is possible. Over the weekend, team should have made minimum 1 conference call. The first day of the second weekend would be on field session where each team would start with the debriefing, get on field coaching from expert such that they are inspired for guerrilla marketing and a killer sales. The second day of the second weekend would be an in-house classroom session which would start with group learning, compiling measurements, and finally an award distribution ceremony. Finally, you might still want to know what's in it for me. As an entrepreneur, you would gain access to resources in the form of budget funds of say 11,000 rupees, which could be spent on your product sales, marketing, manpower with 11 best people including you working for your product, and a dedicated time slot of 2 weekends. If you are a builder, you too would be getting a benefit in twofold. You would get a certification of recognition. You would get to work for a startup at a top-notch position for 2 weekends. You would get to learn from coaches and best marketing experts. Not only that, from each team, there would be one builder who would get to play the role of CEO. This is the place where you would earn your first sweat money through your first sale. At the end of the event, if you're interested and lucky enough, you might be surprised to receive an invitation to join startup from one of the entrepreneurs. How did the idea of rocket sales weekend came into its inception? There are two reasons or explanation for it. Let's go with the first one. Here you see a chart of a product planning and development process with two phases, a startup stage and a commercialization stage. The startup stage is divided into idea stage, concept stage, product development stage, and test marketing stage. Most of the weekend programs that you see in the market are the one which works in the idea stage and the concept stage. Now, since these startup programs only focus on producing the minimal viable product, they are not able to go beyond the demo stage. The rocket sales weekend, on the contrary, is the one that covers right from your demo phase to commercialization phase, wherein it covers the product development stage, the marketing stage, and everything that goes into it. For second explanation, when we collected various reasons for startup failures from blogs, we found that these reasons could be categorized into three areas. One, exclusive pre-demo area. Two, exclusive post-demo area. And third, an indistinguishable area which covers both, out of which maximum majority of reasons falls under exclusive post-demo stage. The rocket sales weekends work solely for post-demo stage.